Hey, Brook Scholars, welcome back to Remote Learning with me, Mr. Scott. Happy Thursday, everybody. Rainbow Week continues. Green. Thursday, fourth color. Yeah, we're talking about green. And why am I so excited? Well, I got two very good reasons. Number one, my favorite color is green. Yep, I love green. And the other reason that I'm liable to get a little bit fired up today and a little bit excited is because I found what I hope will be a really, really interesting nonfiction text for you guys. Okay, so to begin with, you are going to need a piece of paper and a pencil. So if you don't have those things, pause the video, go and get that stuff right now because we are going to continue to work on our annotations. Back, got what you need? Let's do this. Now, back on Monday, I taught you how to write an annotation, a sentence that helps describe everything that you've learned from a particular paragraph or section of a nonfiction text. Now, again, if you're not using this formula and you're feeling really confident about the way that you understand how to write an annotation to keep track of all your learning, that's fine. But if you're still having a little bit of difficulty, you can use this formula to help you. Let's go over it one more time today. Writing annotations for nonfiction articles. First, you start with the topic. Whatever the article may be, that can always be the beginning of any one of your annotations. Then next, what the topic did. Again, this is the predicate of the sentence. It includes the verb. And then finally, the last piece is how or why. Why is that important? Here's an example. Mr. Scott, that's the topic, wore red on Monday. That's what he did. It includes the verb wore part of the predicate. Why? To celebrate the start of Rainbow Week. Then we went on to grizzly bears. They hibernate in the Arctic winters. That's what they did. And then how do they do it? By living off the fat they stored in their bodies. So let me take you over now to our nonfiction article for today. I'm so excited, my friends. I can tell you a little bit about this. Well, actually, let me have you guys guess. Take a look at this. Let me move my head out of the way here. Go over there, head. Good job. Heading out here. Take a look. What do you think? Genre. Let's talk genre right now. What do you think the genre of this particular article could be? I agree with you. I agree. Yes, I think it could absolutely be nonfiction. But taking a look at the title, The Kid Who Could Play Tennis, and using the pictures at the top of the article, you think maybe we can be a little bit more specific in our genre choice? Yes, it's nonfiction, but nonfiction includes lots of other genres. What could this be? A biography. Right. What is a biography? Yeah, that's right. It's the study of someone's life. But of course, we have to remember that with a biography, you're studying someone who has accomplished something truly remarkable. Maybe they are the first person to do something, or maybe they do it in a new and special way. So here we have an athlete, obviously, that's playing tennis. This is, by my count, our third biography that we have read in during distance learning. We started off by reading about Bessie Coleman, an incredible pilot. Then we read about the Cupcake Queen. Do you remember her name? Ooh, that goes back a ways. Taylor Moxie, the Cupcake Queen. And she was a little kid, and she could still change the world and do incredible things. And then here we have our third biography. If I'm missing one, I apologize. Anyway, so here we go. This guy, this man, this gentleman, this athlete, this tennis player is a big hero to me. Hopefully, you have heroes in your life, people who, I look at these pictures here. I see the pictures of this man's face, and I'm just automatically inspired, and it makes me want to be the best that I can be. So let's jump in. Let's find out who this guy was, why he thinks he was so special, and then answer some questions. Okay, here we go. The kid who could play tennis. As a child, Arthur Ashe Jr. leaned against a tree and watched the players on the tennis court. One player hit the ball over the net. The other player hit the ball and sent it back. A young Arthur swung his arm as if he were playing tennis too. I bet I could hit it really hard, he thought. All right, paragraph 1. Here we go. So I have my paper there. Let's think about this. So What is this about? Well, it's about a man by the name of Arthur Ashe. Say his name with me, will you? One, two, three. Arthur Ashe. Love it. So, what about Arthur Ashe? Well, that could definitely be the subject of our sentence that we're going to write. You could write his name. Make sure you spell it right. It's right here. Ashes with an E at the end. And then what was he doing? Well, he was thinking about something when he was young. What was he thinking about? He was thinking that he could be a great player when he was young. Right. Okay. So pause the video, write down your annotation for paragraph 1. Do it. Paragraph 2. Arthur lived near a large park in Richmond, Virginia. His father was the manager of the park. He took care of the park and made sure everything was right. Arthur lived with his father and his brother. Okay, so we've got some more information about where he lived, and that's important when it comes to reading a biography, a study of someone's life who achieved incredible things. So, Arthur, he was living in Virginia and with his father, and the father was a manager of a park. All right, pause the video, write down your annotation. Do it. Paragraph 3. Arthur was allowed to play in the park by. Sorry. Arthur was allowed to play in the park when he was 7 years old. He was small and athletic. A swimming pool, tennis courts, and baseball diamonds were in the park. Arthur spent a lot of time playing there. He did well in sports, but he never had tried to play tennis. So, what are we going to say here? Again, the subject of our sentence, the topic of this article, Arthur Ashe, that can be the beginning to your annotation. And what was he doing? He was playing sports, right? And what about the way that he was playing the sports? This is the because, this is the how or why right at the end. Yeah, he was really good. He was talented. So you've got this idea. Arthur, he's playing sports when he's growing up, and he was talented. Take that, put it into your own sentence. Pause and write it. Paragraph 4. He often watched the tennis players. Sometimes there were tennis lessons being given, and Arthur would watch even more carefully. The young man teaching the lessons noticed Arthur. His name was Ronald Charity. Now, what can we say about this? Well, we've got the idea that Arthur Ashe is going to begin our sentence. And what was happening? Well, Arthur was being noticed by the tennis coach, Mr. Ronald Charity. And he must have thought that Arthur would be a great tennis player. All right, pause and write down your annotation. Go. All right, next paragraph 5. Mr. Charity asked Arthur if he wanted to learn to play tennis. Arthur was excited. Soon he was hitting the ball back and forth with Mr. Charity. Arthur was very fast and hit the ball hard. Mr. Charity could see that Arthur would grow up to be a good tennis player. By the time he was 10, Arthur won a tournament. Many older and bigger players came to the park trying to win the prize, but Arthur beat them. He became known as the kid who could play tennis. So, what's happening here? You've got Arthur Ashe. That's the way you're going to begin your sentence. What was he doing? He won many tournaments. Right, he won tournaments. And how did he do that? Yeah, he had to beat top players. He had to beat out other tennis players who were really, really good. All right, so take those ideas, put them into your own sentence. Pause and write. Last one. Paragraph 6. Arthur grew up to be one of the first successful. I'm going to mess that up, and the man deserves more than that. Come on, Mr. Scott. Arthur grew up to be one of the first successful African American tennis players. He played and won all over the world. Arthur Ashe was more than an amazing tennis player, though. He started a program that gave children living in cities a chance to learn how to play tennis. He cared about people. He often spoke about how important it is to be fair to everyone. There you go. So, Arthur Ashe, what about him in this sixth paragraph? Well, he became what? Yeah, a really, really top uh, tennis player. And how did he do that? He did that through his hard work. All right, pause the video, write that down. Okay, my friends, so there you have it. Now, if you have not been introduced to, if you don't know very much about tennis or you don't know very much about this man, Arthur Ashe, I really, really encourage. First of all, I am delighted to be the one to introduce you to him because he is worthy of that much acclaim. Number two, this is a very short article and doesn't say all the incredible achievements and accomplishments that Arthur Ashe did during his time, both on tennis courts and off of tennis courts. He was a truly legendary figure. I never got to see him play, although here you can see him. This is him winning Wimbledon in 1975, of course, against Jimmy Connors. I have been to Wimbledon because Mr. Scott's a big tennis fan. There I am, standing on Henman Hill, Murray Mound. That was in 2018. So I never got to see Arthur Ashe play. He was winning Wimbledon 2 years before I was even born. But a truly remarkable man and definitely worthy of this biography. So, thank you for sticking with it, my friends. Well done writing those annotations. Don't forget to record you speaking and reading those annotations so that we can hear all the wonderful things that you wrote down. Then you can answer the multiple choice questions and the short answer. There's not very many of them, 10 questions today. And I can't wait to see your work up there on Seesaw. Keep wearing your green. Have a fantastic, vibrant day, my friends. And I will look forward to seeing you back here again tomorrow with me, the ultimate champion, Mr. Scott, on the world's greatest YouTube channel with these incredible second grade teachers. Have a lovely day, my friends. Bye.